Thanks for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, I appreciate it. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of EU4 with me, Daniel, from Dan Has Fun. It has been 5 weeks in real life time, since I last recorded a video. So, when I loaded this game back up, first thing I noticed was, oh, thank you, past Daniel, we have no manpower. That's so very kind. We're playing as Italy. We're in a state of pretty much constant warfare because all of the big nations near us have so much aggressive expansion that they will always be in a coalition against us. So we effectively just have to take turns beating up parts of the coalition so they don't all fire on us at the same time. The only thing I've done between episodes, and you may, the more observant of you, have noticed that our money stack is, although still significant, it is a lot less than it was before. I've spent a lot of money to try and build buildings that will increase our manpower, and I've also gone to upgrade the pyramids in Cairo. It'll make our advisors cheaper to hire and maintain in the long run, so should save us a bit of extra money on top of everything else, as long as we don't change the culture there by accident. No guarantees there. So we have to continue against Provence. We are clearly winning. We're at 60% war score. That's on pause. We just have to keep a very close eye out because we don't want to shred our army completely unnecessarily. We are sieging in Hainaut. This stack is going to go protect it. Okay, past Daniel has that covered. These guys, I imagine, are all kind of following around together. We'll probably want to try and siege out Waldstadt, but it's tricky because it's on a mountain. Vord isn't. We could go for that first. That is a much safer target. We'll start doing that. We'll have our bigger stack de-siege a province without a fort on it. So that's fine. That'll be nice and easy. How are our allies feeling? So Poland, yeah, war enthusiasm of 53 is it's effectively the same as us. Provence wants to peace out, but they won't peace out with what we want yet. We can't peace almost any other nation out independently. Rugen we technically can, but I mean, look how far away they are. That's never going to happen. So let's unpause. Are there any other stacks I need to worry about? I don't think so. Interesting that Russia's down here, although they're still going on against the Ottomans. We don't want Russia to beat up the Ottomans too aggressively. That's our job, after all. And religion-wise, how are we looking? We're 88% unity, which isn't too bad. We should definitely still keep converting, though. Minus 21%. We've got 15 cannons on there. 25 cannons, in fact. I can do maths. Yeah, we don't want to spread out too thin, as we found out before with these gigantic stacks here, to the degree where maybe we'll even have to take our 38k stack and put it over here as protection, because they are starting to combine up again, and we don't really want that to happen. Our truce with Austria has just ended, so I imagine that they will be joining the coalition soon enough. Hopefully not too soon. I don't want to declare on them straight away after dealing with this. I'd like a little bit of peace while I can get my manpower back if we can. I'm not sure how likely that's going to be, but it would be nice. Finally, we have the rebels in Catalonia fire, so we can use these 22,000 troops after that has happened. We're near our monarch power cap. How are we looking on tech? We should probably just get level 22 admin tech so we can, now that we've researched the constitution, we can build town hall, which is not that important right now. What is far more important is this kitty meowing at me in the background. Hi kitty, that's not who I meant to say hi to. But more importantly, we get to choose a new idea group. I don't know what we want though. So we can pick from any group because we still don't have like a majority of one type over the other. Given we're in total war mode, it's very tempting to pick a military idea. But let's have a look at our growth. So we have a 163 leader who's probably going to kick the bucket in the near future. He's 57. We're getting a reasonably balanced income of monarch points every month, though. Admittedly, it's because we're focusing on admin, but let's not concentrate too much on that, right? Let's just pretend we haven't acknowledged that. Our diplomatic advisor is 70 years old as well. That's good for him. That's a good innings for this time of for this time in history. So we're probably still going to go for a military idea. We already have quantity, so we could go quality and kind of have that nice combination. We are finding that our troops, although they are good, they're not unbelievably good compared to the rest of Europe. Defensive gives us more morale, and it means opponents lose more manpower against us, but I don't really think that's going to be that big a deal here. I usually go for defensive very early on, but this time around I just haven't done so. We don't need naval. I don't think that's a priority at all. Plutocratic I don't think is very strong ever. I mean, you get a free merchant, but so what? And there is the 20% manpower recovery speed increase, but that's not that massive either. I think we're going to go for quality. Just makes every troop a little bit better. Bit more morale. And you get discipline at the end. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We can't invest in it currently, though. We're going to have to wait. But we're so far ahead on tech at this stage, we can probably spend a couple of ideas worth before we end up having to go to the next tech level. So I think we'll be fine. Let's unpause again. And we're going to watch for this rebel stack to be defeated. Thank you. We didn't lose too many troops, about 3,000. This stack needs to come over here as well. It looks like their big stack of doom is prioritizing de-sieging Bavaria, which I'm absolutely a-okay with, because it means we should get a free pass to siege out Memmingen. Hopefully. Maybe. If we're lucky. Another city demands a seat in Parliament. Sure. Which one even are you? What? Okay. To be fair, 25 development. I'm okay with it. I'm not that upset. Georgia just lost provinces to the Ottomans, which they'll probably end up having to cough back out again by the end of the war with Russia, but we shall see. Memmingen finally has been sieged out. So now we have this great big stack. That's a hill. Do we think we have enough troops to break that siege? Or that de-siege attempt? I think we probably do, combined with Poland. Let's start having them all traverse that way. We're up to 66% war score. Now my game plan is to take these 4 provinces, give one of them to Gascony. They will do it now by the skin of their teeth. I'm thinking it's probably still worth going for a little bit more, because the more that you demand, the longer the peace treaty has to be. And we clearly want this to be as long as we can. So we may have to sacrifice some men in order to make the truce time a little bit more delayed for us. We also should probably start de-sieging. Oh, they're on autonomous sieging. I can't split the stacks because that is a mercenary stack, which we will be dumping at the end of this war because they have no manpower. Where did their stack even go? Need to keep a close eye on it, because if they're just going to run around and not do anything, I don't want to engage them if they're not doing anything worth engaging. Does Bavaria have any other forts that are just on rubbish plain territory? That's a farmland, so yes, they do. We might get to siege that out pretty quickly. That's going to be an expensive conversion in Barcelona, but it's definitely worth doing. You're not all going to sit there, though, because you'll just get attrition to death. So let's move half the stack into that fort. We just won the siege of Cambresis, which I'm sure is not how that is pronounced. Now we're at 70%. They still won't give us a huge amount more, but do we just say it's okay at this point? Or do we press to take this province as well? It's probably not worth it. Okay, okay, that's where their stack is. Their stack is over in Poland. Do we keep going? I'm going to say yes, just for now. These 3 stacks can move, though. That's farmland. Okay, beautiful. Farmland equals quick to siege, which means me likey. Let's start doing that. And we're going to watch this 73k stack and see what they do. They're going to try and de-siege Memmingen, which we can definitely deal with in due course. But we do want to watch these sieges. I'd rather they not siege anything in Poland now. Okay. We've got Vord as well. We're now up to 73% war score. I'm probably okay with piecing out now, if they'll do it. And I can take war reparations. Because again, that'll expand the timer without having to really do anything else. We'll take a little bit of money too. Okay, get 2 stacks? No, just 1. Okay. We're gonna bail now, because I have no manpower. We could... we could intervene, potentially, in the war against Russia, against the Ottomans, if we really wanted to. Here's the problem. Russia's got nearly 400,000 troops. And we have no manpower. So that would probably be suicide if we did that at the moment. So as much as I would like to slow Russia down, this is not the right time to do that. These mercenaries, they can now disappear. See you later. Get out. We'll start coring the 1 province we can. We can't core Maine and Anjou yet because we don't have a land border to them. And even though we're in the age of absolutism, we have to wait. We have to wait until the age of revolution, I believe, before we can even attempt to start coring things in land. So let's start splitting some troops up again. So we're clearly going to have to move a couple of stacks over here. Let's do that. This stack altogether can come down. Where has a really high supply limit? Ferrara, right? Yeah, let's get them in together. This 50k stack can come down here before we split it, and then this 66k stack. Do I have another problem? Yeah, 82,000 men supply limit in Rome. That is massive. As much as I would love to attack Austria right now so they don't get into a coalition, I can't do it. Can't do it yet. I also don't want to drag Brittany in, because dragging Brittany in will drag Netherlands in again, and Spain, and no, I don't want to. Spain's only got 88,000 troops and no manpower, but I also have no manpower, so we're going to wait on this occasion. Do I have any naval stacks around that need to be doing other things? This stack does, so the 101 stack can come back. We'll move the light trade ships away afterwards. That's the transport stack. You're still protecting node. You're still protecting node. These two... Do we have a couple in Ragusa? No, okay. So we only have 14 protecting trade in Ragusa. So the 2 that we have in our big naval stack, we're going to have come over and help deal with the Ragusan trade node. Once the ships get back, it might take a minute to have happen. Now that you're back, let's split these stacks up a little bit. You can come over here. We clearly do have to split stacks a little bit. You want ducats? You want 1,000 ducats for favors. That is a lot of money, but I will do it because I want a buffer for dealing with Russia. Because I imagine it's only a matter of time. Russia does have the ability to declare war on Poland because they share this sea zone. Netherlands declared war on Friesland. None of my concern. Royal marriage for Britain, sure. Still don't really know why you didn't get involved in this war in the first place, but not a big deal. Gascony, we are still annexing at a snail's pace, but what are you going to do? I guess we should split these stacks up as well. There's the 101 naval stack. These two, you're going to run away at war and protect trade in Ragusa, and eventually you should combine together. Might take some time, but eventually we'll get there. We're not over on our force limits anymore either, which is awesome. We were briefly with those mercenaries, but it was definitely a sacrifice worth making. We lost an admiral. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Not a big deal. Do we need to split any more stacks up? Probably not. So we can start drilling, because we're not going to war with anybody imminently. Probably. But I say that a lot, and then I find myself at war a lot, so... You know, we'll keep an eye out on that. The only stacks I'm not going to have drill are the two over here, because we're going to have rebellion issues, I am sure. And once you're in place, which you should be now, we'll start drilling. We do have the ability to upgrade Amber's Castle, if we want to, in Tyrol. Is it worth it? Increases local defensiveness there, gives us some yearly prestige increase. Yeah, I mean, it gives us more drill modifiers, so we might as well. And we clearly have some money to spend. I'm not going to spend all of it, though, because once we built all the buildings that give us more manpower, we're going to start building all the buildings that give us more maximum limit cap. We'll be prioritizing on the land, but we might even need to do that for naval units, too. Just so we can have a second stack of doom going around. I don't know. That's not quite as high a priority, I think it's fair to say. So Provence is now just a province over there. Yeah, it still has its stack, though, of provinces over in Old Burgundy. There are all of our training fields built. Like that. So we now have a manpower cap of 311,000 men. And that obviously has the direct knock-on effect of how many troops you get every month. We get 3,363 of them, which is going to take quite a few of those before we get anywhere near our cap. But we're going to let it keep ticking along. The Ottomans are just getting wrecked. There's nothing we could really do about it. If we and Russia were at war with no other allies involved, I think it would be very, very close. Once we have manpower. With Bohemia in there as well, and their 104,000 men, I think it'd be really tricky to deal with. But we are going to have to, like I said, we're going to have to deal with Russia at some point. I'm hoping what'll mostly happen is they'll just end up having to give up lands that they already took from Georgia, and maybe they'll just give them a boatload of cash and maybe the small provinces around the Crimea area. Which, relatively speaking, for the Ottomans aren't that important. We'll see. We also want to take that one transport and put that in the transport stack. Get that done. Oh, we have support rebels CB against the Ottomans. I guess we must have been investing in that. Speaking of investing in that, we have significant spying power against Russia at the moment. I don't really feel I need to steal any maps, and I don't think slandering their merchants is really going to be that important. I would much rather support rebels, but we can't yet. So I guess we might as well use something. Okay, let's slander their merchants and make them earn a little bit less money. These rebels that we're supporting will not succeed, but it will have the nice effect of delaying the Ottomans losing and force Bohemia and or Russia to lose manpower trying to deal with them. It's just a shame that peasants are so unbelievably terrible in combat. They are the worst of the rebels. Which, I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, they suck. Look how much they are getting absolutely destroyed. Base morale 3.9 because they get a 20% penalty for being peasants. That is no bueno. Let's get our first idea of quality, which is just better infantry. Again, compared to our other European nations, our troops are okay. If you want the best troops, you either want to be France or try and form like Prussia, you get some fantastic troops. We have distinctly okay ones. Austria has no troops right now. But they're allied to Poland. How annoying is that? I could probably get them to break the alliance with them, though, if I really wanted to. Yeah, we clearly need to get some provinces down in the Ottoman territory. We can't do that right now. I'm just having a look at the missions overall. We also want those two Austrian provinces. We're still in a peace treaty with France. Now, could we force... Okay, we can't force them from Austria's end to break an alliance. Oh, interesting. I can't ask Poland to do it either. Interesting. Okay. Well, the one positive out of that is that they're incredibly unlikely to fire a coalition on me because that will drag their ally in. Well, that's a little bit annoying. So we'll just have to watch. And now that we're starting to stack up on manpower, I am pretty tempted to go after Russia. I mean, surely Russia does not have 400,000 troops all on the same border. We'll still wait. It's just very tempting. We should start getting our other buildings up too before I forget. So we want conscription centers. Let's go in improvement amount order. And everywhere that gives a +2, let's do that first. That's done. What we should also do, I guess, is flip it to any buildings where it says free slots 0 or -1. This means we already have one of them built. We're not going to do the 0.1s, but anybody that's a +1 and 0 building slots remaining, we definitely will. There we go. That's going to increase our force limit pretty spectacularly. We'll have to wait a little bit. Well, won't take that long. The Ottomans are doing well at sea, at least, still. So the Russian Navy is getting smacked around. They do have 130 ships, though. Fairly dangerous. Not horrendously so, but dangerous enough I'll have to keep an eye out whenever we end up at war with them. Is there anybody else I can get them to break alliance with? No? Okay. Feels a bit like bullying, but we are going to need some territory off them. I wonder... I should be able to threaten war. Let's say I want this province. Oh, you won't give it. It's close. But no, they won't do it. Okay. Interesting that they feel so strong with their quite literal nothing. But no troops and they still won't do it. It's very rude. I mean, they clearly... Like, there can't be a huge number of troops over in Ottoman territory right now on either side because this peasant siege is still there. Nobody's re-sieged it. Okay, there's the Bohemian stack. They must be shredding troops to attrition. Yeah, they have no manpower left at all. Russia's down to 161,000. Ooh! Our advisor, Asanio Maria Borromeo? I don't know. He's so good we can either get 50 prestige we can't do anything with, or 50 admin points. Gee, I wonder which one we're going to do. And we have admin points for days. So, do we have the governing capacity to make some more states? We do. We don't have a huge amount, though. We might want to make a state or two. So Catalonia, we're definitely going to want to make a state. It's worth 59 development. It's massive. We definitely want to do that. Whether we'll want to keep Catalan culture, I'm not sure. We still have plenty of room to maneuver, so what's next? Oh yeah, Campania. It's only a 3-province state, but they are massive development, so we want to make sure that happens, and they're in our culture group, so that's fine. Calabria is not very high development, but it is in our culture group, so it's tempting. Are there any other states in Italy that we have not formed yet? Doesn't look like it. Even though it's not worth a ton, we'll probably do it anyway. There you go. Alright, so that used up some admin points. Now, culture-wise, yeah, we're at our maximum number. There's no other culture in here that we would really want to switch in instead. Having said that, like, I don't think the Serbian's going to grow massively, but it's not a huge difference either way. Okay, terms up for Benedetto del Carretto. What a crunchy sounding name that is. He's 59. He is an inspiring leader though, which is awesome. His relative is pretty good as a 3-3-3. And we have 100 Republican tradition. That is wild. Yeah, we'll take our 3-3-3 relative. Let's hope he gets a trait that doesn't suck. Well connected is not bad at all. It's just financial, but I'm not going to complain. Yeah, getting a 3-3-3 relative is pretty good. I'll take it. In terms of point accumulation, then we're at 1299. So when admin is available to be defocused or unfocused, I don't even know which one it is, we'll probably do military for a bit. Try and plow through as many ideas as we can. Up to nearly 50,000 manpower. The Ottomans are still getting wrecked. What's the war score? Minus 84. What have they not captured yet? Who knows? Also, Portugal are down here. Another nation beginning with P. Do we not have a royal marriage with them? Let's get that done. Don't know why that didn't happen. Who are you actually at war with? Hilwa, okay. Down here. And they've got positive war score, but they're not doing that well. Oh. Army leader has kicked the bucket. Down here, we're going to get a new one so I can keep drilling. We already had a spare leader, apparently. Oh well, it's fine. Better to have too many leaders than not enough, I guess. Do we have any stack that doesn't have a military leader? I guess it's because we got rid of those mercenaries. Yeah, we have more military leaders than we have stacks of troops. What a beautiful luxury to have. We'll take it. Do we want to become Defender of the Faith? I know I've spoken about it before. It would be a tier 4, which gives us an extra missionary, more morale. I mean, it gives us more prestige and church power, but who cares? But it does give us a lot more manpower. That's another way of boosting your manpower up. Now, if we do religious map, it's still Denmark is still the trouble province, still the trouble nation. If they weren't Protestant, that would be a slam dunk decision. But because they are, Russia could attack them at any time, and I would be honor bound to defend them. And I don't want to have to, because they're massively out of the way, incredibly weak, and Russia could then bring Bohemia in, so it would just be effectively Bohemia and Russia against me alone, which sounds terrible. If we were to declare war on Russia now, though, Britain would come in, but Poland would not, because they have a truce, which is stinky. And Portugal will never come in because it's just too far away. And no offense, Great Britain, but having you in a war against Russia will be legitimately useless. It'll be worthless. Russia has a bigger navy than them. Probably not as high a quality as navy, it has to be said. But we've seen how good the AI is at dealing with troops overseas. it's not. So I'd rather not do that. Don't really want the burghers to have this much influence, but I also don't want to lose trade capacity. Having said that, we should seize land before I forget. Let's do that. The burghers... Is there anything in here that we can really take away? What's their default? 67? Their equilibrium 75%. So once it gets there, we can take one of these away. Which we're going to want to do, because if their influence gets too high, when we acquire land, they're going to take a percentage of it, which we don't want. So, what did Russia take from the Ottomans? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces. It had to give a core back to Georgia. It had to give up some cores. It released Armenia. This province is a little bit annoying for them to have taken. Not connected. But that's... That'll be really hard for them to defend, because there's no way on this earth that the Ottomans are going to give them open borders. How much do I need to support fresh rebels? I need 30 spying power, and I can't do it until next year. Let's keep an eye on that, because that may be important. Yep, you can have open borders. I'm okay with that. Speaking of, how far off the... Oh, we have lots of naval force on it. Let's bump this up to 30 ships in Ragusa, so they have a bit of a buffer. That way they won't just get immediately sniped. We have a trade protection CB against Russia because they're using privateers in one of our trade nodes. I mean, the AI always does that, so I'm not that worried about it. Let's start getting Angio Cord. Urgel. Now that you've finished being converted, let's get Rossiglione religiously aligned with our vision. And while we have some peace and quiet, let's work out. So, in terms of treaties and timings, again, for anybody that's not seen this map mode before, anything that's striped, there's a peace treaty. So we don't have to worry about them too much. Obviously, Austria, big and red, they're going to hate us for the rest of the game. It's an absolute nailed-on guarantee. But are any other nations adjacent to us that are not... Okay, Burgundy. Burgundy's not in a peace treaty with us. I'm assuming Brittany would defend them even if we had a CB, which we don't, and they would. Peace treaty with Spain is 1784. Peace treaty with the Mamluks is 1688. I think I said 1784 for Spain. That would be a bit extreme. And then, yeah, it's 1680 for the Ottomans. We don't really have a lot of good targets right now. Not that we're really prioritizing it anyway, because we have no manpower. But we don't have a slew of options. I guess for the time being then, we'll just set our diplomat to buddy up with our allies again, make sure they're happy, and we'll plot things for next episode, because we're on for, what, over half an hour already. Hopefully you've enjoyed this more planning central episode, and hopefully I'll see you next time around. Hopefully I do. Appreciate your time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.